President Kennedy has done some significant things in civil rights, but at the same time, I must say that President Kennedy hadn't done enough, and we must remind him that we elected him. But I think the time has come for the President of the United States to sign an executive order outlawing segregation or declaring it unconstitutional on the basis of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution.
Yes, I had a very fruitful visit with the President. I discussed with him some of the problems that we are facing in the South and tried to report some of the conditions firsthand that we face in the South at this time. He listened very sympathetically, and we had a most fruitful and rewarding discussion together. Well, I discussed some of the problems in Mississippi that we are facing at this time, the problems in Macomb, Mississippi, and also many of the problems that students are facing in seeking to get Negro citizens in the South registered and voting. Also, I proposed to the President an idea that I have been discussing for several weeks now, and that is a need for a sort of second Emancipation Proclamation declaring all segregated facilities unconstitutional and illegal on the basis of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Just as the first Emancipation Proclamation was an executive order, I don't think it is too much to ask for a second Emancipation Proclamation bringing an end to segregation almost 100 years after the first Emancipation Proclamation was issued. Also, I suggested the need for an executive order in housing as a specific executive order because so much of housing, most of the housing financing falls under the federal government, either through FHA, PHA, urban renewal, or veterans loans. And this is one area where we need an executive order. And as long as there is housing segregation, as I said to the President, we will have segregation in public schools, we will have segregation in recreational facilities and all areas, so that this is a pressing need, and I think it would solve a great problem if we could get such
first thought? It was one of the most shocking things I'd ever heard. Frankly, I was very upset and couldn't adjust to it and could hardly believe it in the beginning. And I wanted to go to the radio or the television to get the news, and I immediately turned on the television, and they were talking about it. And they were still saying that the President had been shot. I became very pessimistic concerning the possibilities of the President living, even though they had not come out with a confirmed statement that he had died. But it was very shocking and upsetting. And I started thinking about the several meetings that I've had with the President this year. I think I met with him some 5 times this year. And we started talking about various things, and he finally took me to the Lincoln Room. We had been talking about the Emancipation Proclamation that I had taken, and he had a great understanding of the depths and dimensions of the problem, and I really feel that he was a friend to the cause of civil rights. The crisis there after the bombing of the church and the murder of the 6 children. So all of these things came back to become immune to being afraid as a result of these threats. I guess you have to come to the point of looking at these things philosophically, and this is where I have decided to stand. One must have the courage and the fortitude to stand up for it, even if it means suffering or even if it means death. And I have always felt that unmerited suffering is redemptive,